Morning. Today is Sunday, and we're getting started here at 5:30 in the morning. As usual, it's always a good time to start work on this game. Though we're pretty much doing the same thing as yesterday. Hopefully, we're just getting the animations rigged up. I had to bail kind of early yesterday because Mother's Day and all that. Had to go hang out with the parents. Morning, everyone. So where were we? I think we had gotten Bitey's animations all exported properly. Let me double check. So of course the first thing we're going to have to do is make sure that the collision is all proper on everything. So well, let's get started. I'm gonna basically Bitey is right now, he doesn't really have much working out for him. So we're gonna have to change that. I'm gonna start off by deleting everything just in case there's some just junk that should not exist. And this stream, if you're not familiar with it, is all about watching progress bars. And that's kind of what we do. We type out a lot of words and stuff like that, and then we kind of just hit a few buttons and then we watch progress bar. Sometimes there's not even a progress bar, there's just like a timer. And yeah, it's pretty standard for programming. I'm still waking up, so I might be a little slow, a little quiet. But Bitey's got just tons of animations. Like, even though these are all roughs, they still take up the same budget as like a normal, fully done 2D character. So we got all the things that we need to actually grab. I think this is one animation. This is just the collision animation, and it's just so big that it's taking up 2 sprite sheets. I think we have this many frames of him slapping against the ground because his hooves are moving just a small bit each frame. Yeah, very good. Wow, okay, well it's taken a while just to delete all this stuff, it looks like. There's a lot more files than I thought there was. What we're basically doing is cleaning up. We've been doing a whole bunch of import work and other stuff like that. But that was like a month ago when we were proving out all the systems, and we've re-rigged everything. I just want to make sure that all the old garbage is deleted and we get to start working on it. Looks like Adam's doing pretty well with his new level and all that stuff. Looks like, it's going to be the same issues as he had the other day, just actually placing those objects, being a real pain in the butt. Things like that, but that's going to be something we have to work on because building the actual level out of all the assets is, well, it can be real difficult. That's usually you have a bunch of tools programmers. Like if you have a 60-person studio or something like that working on a game, you'll have 1 or 2 guys that are just full-time just making tools for helping place terrain and objects and make things just easier for content creators to make content. Because every game has little things, and you know, it doesn't always flow super easily from one thing to the next. So the idea is basically what we can do is we need to get Bitey's animations and all his stuff imported into the game. Then we need to organize them into things that the game can actually understand. I don't know if I can actually... Yeah, I can't interact with Unreal 4 while it's doing this. But basically we have a big hierarchy of animations, and we actually should take another pass at figuring out exactly how we want to organize them. So we'll get them... I'll write this down. We need to... Yeah, we fixed the Bitey rigging yesterday. So we need to confirm Bitey rigging. Then we need to take a pass at making declaring animations easier. Basically, we need to tell the engine which animations are which. Like how Unreal works with its 2D stuff is it's kind of like you've got your game object, and that's your high level thing. And then on the game object, you've got your components, like you got your animation component, and then you've got your paper 2D flipbook, and on the flipbook is paper 2D sprite, and this is the thing you actually see right here is a sprite. And the flipbook is a series of sprites. So a flipbook is what you would expect like a flipbook in real life, right? It's like a whole bunch of little post-it notes with pictures on them. But we need to actually tell the game, like, hey, this flipbook is the run flipbook, and then we have to tell the animation controller that when you're running on like flat ground or something, that you should be playing the run animation when you're running between, 1 meter per second and 2 meters per second, or something like that. So that's kind of the thing right now, is we have all the art. We need to then organize it into things where we can actually say, like, this is the run animation. And then we need to actually get the movement controller to say, yes, we are running, so we should play the run animation. And of course, other things such as, if we're already playing the run animation, don't start it again from frame 0. Just let it keep playing. But a lot of that should be done for us already. We made the animation controller a couple months ago. So we should be hooking up all the fun things today. And of course that means it's going to take forever. No, Cortana, go away. We don't need you. Windows 10, why? This thing is just having problems deleting all the assets. I'm asking it to delete like 5,000 files, so I guess that's why it's getting all angry at me. What is this? Progress bars after progress bars. Well, if this is how long it's going to take, I need to figure out. Maybe we should start taking a stab at how we actually organize all of our data. Got these animation wrappers. So kind of how it's organized right now is we have these categories, and on those categories we have arrays. These set groups, and these set groups have arrays of animations, sub-animations, and transitions. I got stuttering hard there. Yeah, there's a lot of, computer's working. It's gotta do all the progress bars. Well, we'll get working. Hopefully I don't suffer another catastrophic out-of-memory issue, like when I put down, 1.5 million different pieces of grass all at once, and Unreal just like gobbled up 32 gigabytes of memory and crashed. That was really funny. I think my last message was like, I don't think the computer's doing too well, and then like the stream goes down. Maybe this was a mistake. It works though. What, am I having connection problems? Is that a thing? Well, according to Twitch stats, everything's going fine, but I can't really trust that too well with, the computer doing all of the things it needs to do to actually make the game. So I gotta figure out exactly the other way is looking up these animations, because right now basically what we've got in code is we know we're running, and we know we want to play like animation run, and we know we're stationary. So what we have to do is we have to create a data structure where we can look up that run animation. So right now it works by basically going, we've got this top level entity animation data that has like run animations, which would be the idle animation. So it would say like idle when you are dashing, and that's going to equal the run animation. And right now the data structure to do that, you have to like click, there's like animation, and then you have to click on this like stationary, and then you have to click on run, and then you have to click on animations, and then you have to click add animation, and then you have to drag the animation into the array. And this takes like a whole, you have to hunt through like all this crap to find it, and it's just awful. It's just awful. So we may need to add like an import step or something else where I define all this in data, because it's easier sometimes to just work in like raw data, just like XML or JSON or something, than it is to work in a graphical interface, just because sometimes a graphical interface just can't do what you need to do, and a spreadsheet is really the best solution. So we might have to go back to that, and just because there's so much crap in there, because I can very easily just make a data structure that contains this sort of data. but making a graphical interface to make it easy to edit that data can actually be very difficult. Does Adam have some of these assets open? Is that what's going on? He's got stuff maybe that he's editing? No, supposedly I'm the only one. Alright. So I want to save everything. And I want to make sure everything's actually deleted here. So we're going to exit properly and then reboot it. Unreal can be a little bit annoying with dealing with assets. It doesn't always save absolutely everything. It's got a few little edge cases where it won't save what you've done and things like that. It looks like it's done well, so let's go ahead and import Bitey. Uh-oh, I forgot to disconnect source control. That's going to take literally 2 million years to import. So we'll cancel that. I can't believe it. We're up to like 121 hours of recorded content for this thing. I guess that's one way to track my hours. Just record every single one of them and throw it on YouTube. It's like, what was I doing last May on Mother's Day in the morning? Oh yeah, I was looking at a progress bar. This seems to be a pattern in my life. You always just seem to be waiting for things to happen to you. So there's not a huge progress bar here, but you can kind of see the log is spinning. It's going through every sprite and every animation. You basically cannot hear me. What? Why is that? Just... Is it something on my end, you think? Or should I test something out? Something on my end, you think? Or should I test something out? Well, it seems to be coming through alright for me on just checking the stream out on another machine. So, I don't know. Must be something going on with your connection. Might try refreshing or something. I don't know. Alright, so let's save. As you can see, we've got just tons of stuff that we imported. You can actually go to the characters and see how many files Bitey has. Bitey has 523 files at the moment. And the thing is, we can re-import characters and just right over it. Yeah, refreshing. Might be stream size. Adam's running well, but it's scaled a bit. Yeah. I'm not a Twitch partner, so I don't get all those fancy multi-resolution scaling options. So I'm pretty much streaming at 1080p. And that's what everybody has to get, even if you're on mobile or something else. So, unfortunate, true. But it is the world that is at the moment. Alright, so all that is saved. So let's take a bit and take a look at what we can do here. So this is what I'm talking about with the animation stuff being a real pain in the butt. Like if I want to set his jumping, I actually have to click animation data, idle, stationary, add an animation, and then I have to go find that animation over on the right here, which is S idle. The hell is it? Is there no S idle? I mean, there's like a walk. Well, let's take a look in Harmony real quick and see if there was an S idle animation. If there's not, well, I'll have to take a look. So if anybody was wondering what we did for Mother's Day, we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 because my mom really likes Guardians of the Galaxy. So we got sit, breathe, look, board, collision. We've got the walk idle, crouch. We've got this trot idle, R idle, crouched, push, stunned, held, land. And do we have literally everything? Maybe it's breathe. Maybe that's what he's got. Dash idle, air tumble, spring, rise, fall, hang, land, throw, backward. Water idle, enter, exit, dash idle. Stuck, unstuck. Yeah, so it might be this one. I guess this is his S breath is idle. So we'll just keep harmony minimized. Alright, so we're taking a look at the collision as well, and we want to see if the collision actually matches up with what we've got for our character in harmony. And that looks pretty spot on. So it looks like that worked properly. So what do we want to do here? So basically, if I wanted to rig all this stuff up, like if I wanted to rig up all of his movement stuff for trotting and walking and dashing, I kind of have to go like this. Do W idle. Trot idle. Say it looks like that. I mean, it wasn't actually that bad to put all that in there. So maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. Maybe we don't have to do too much. Alright. So, all these do look proper with the collision. These pivots on the same spot? Why are the pieces of collision not exactly lined up? Like, this is a little bit taller than that. The walk and the trot are separate in terms of height. Let's take a look at it. Like, this guy's at 11.6 south. Let's see, run idle. 11.6 south. This is at 6 south. This is at -6, this is at 11.6, 1 and 1. Well, am I imagining things? This is actually a little higher. Alright. I'm just being super paranoid with stuff because whenever you see something that looks wrong, especially when you're doing it the first time, you want to fix it immediately if you can. Alright, so what we kind of want to do here is we want to go through... I think we should go through every single animation and put it where it belongs. Well, not every single animation, obviously. So we have another dash idle. Which is that one. He's just, no. It's a race car. Oh, this looks wrong. The crouch flipbook has a lot of empty frames on it. think it should be to frame 6 and then it should stop. Well, let's just get rid of it. No, crashed. Well, shit. It's the paper flipbook crashing itself. Great. Why would this have extra frames? Oh no. It's gonna crash every single time, isn't it? Well, let's see what the crash is. Yeah, so this get keyframe check does not actually check, which is pretty crappy. Yeah, so what's happening is basically I deleted an asset out of this thing, and there's just, when it's grabbing this get keyframe checked, it's not actually checking anything. The paper 2D stuff in Unreal is not super vetted, so it's returning a reference when it should be returning a pointer, or it should be throwing an assert or something and saying like, hey, this is garbage, you shouldn't use this, but it doesn't do any of that. So we're just getting rid of it. And of course, we'll then have to compile everything and do all the things. Yeah, but I think there's a couple things, like when I designed the basics there, I don't know, there's kind of an argument. We can try to define all this stuff in data, or we could try to like throw it off into blueprints. So instead of like data driving what should be played, we could actually just put it all off into we could put it all up into basically script land to be like, all right, well, just go grab this animation and play it, and have basically custom functions for everything, where it's like, okay, we need the animation for running, and there's just like something there that you would return run and stuff like that, and be something you could fill out. We could try it, but we might have to do that anyway, is also kind of the thing. And I'm probably not making a whole lot of sense when I'm talking right now, because I'm thinking at the same time, and I'm thinking about things that have not been on the screen and people probably don't know anything about. Alright, so we got that. We need to go fix... Alright, well, I need to fix all the crap again. Alright, so it's paper, flipbook, .h. Yeah, the thing is, it's returning, like, null got inserted into these keyframes. So we need not to return a reference, we need to return a pointer. So it's like get keyframe. It just doesn't even have it. Like, it just doesn't even have the damn function. That's so stupid. Like, if you can put a null into this thing, then there's no way in hell you can return a reference. That's just idiotic. And like this won't compile. Unless they got some crazy overrides for references. Yeah, so I mean, is it like if keyframe.is valid? Is there something like that? Because this is Unreal asset data that's like, it's null. It's garbage asset data. Like, you can't put a null reference into something. Yeah, there's no check for this, and the data's just corrupted, so it's like totally fucked. Great. How in the hell do we actually check for this? Because these things are null, and this thing is not. Like, the asset's just broken. Then. Well, isn't that fucking fantastic? Great job, Unreal. Not giving me tools to do what I need to do. We'll take another look at it and see if there's anything on the object that we can actually work with. but you should not be able to have an array of objects that are fully qualified objects where those fully qualified objects are just trash. Like, they're supposed to be fully qualified objects. So somehow their serialization and deserialization stuff is basically when it should be doing something, giving us a breadcrumb of like, hey, we weren't able to actually recreate this array of data. It should at least be able to tell us that instead of just giving us like a plate that's full of corruption and being like, well, you can try to access it. Yeah, just eat this. It's raw chicken. You'll be fine. Yeah, it says there's 11 frames, so there were 12 frames on this thing, which are all sorts of screwed up. There's only 5 frames of pivot though, so it should have detected that. Why didn't it? Because there was 11 frames of... Wait, what? There's an RG pivot. And then there's another RG pivot on the same object? There's 2 pivots on this thing? What? That can't be right. It's probably this R crouched B12 is what screwed it up. Because this has 12 and this has 12. Let's take a look. We would expect another RG pivot. Yeah, there's 3 pivots, so it's grabbed all 3 of them because of the name. Alright, well. Let's see if we can actually fix this thing real quick. If there's any sort of indication that we can get that the keyframe is garbage. So keyframes, it says it's null. Like index 6, the sprite is null. The object is not null, but the sprite is null, I guess. So what we should do if keyframe sprite equals null pointer, then we just return, because that's all sorts of screwed up. Alright, so we fixed that crash. Let's just double check it, and then we're going to have to go fix the export script. Looks like it's looking at something it shouldn't be looking at. Thanks for taking the... So let's see, we're looking for like the check name, last index name, if like I mean basically it has something to do with the layer name here is basically we got this node name. Basically how this export script works is it goes through the hierarchy of all these objects and it's looking to see if we're still inside of our object to see which rigging objects belong to which group. And what's happening here is our crouched obviously is getting detected, so it's last index of checking name mod 2. Gathering information on a specific group. So going through every layer. So if the node name index of group name does not equal 0. Okay, so it's the bug is right here. So it's checking for the index of the group name. And basically what we should be doing is we should be doing something right here where so it's node name index of group name does not equal 0. So if it's found, we're checking the index of the group name, which is not going to be there. So what we want to do is this is kind of an annoying operation because the node name is like this concatenation. So what we should do is yeah, this is just not a great way to find it. Let's see, basically the node name should be something like /top/r crouched 6 / rigging /rg _ pivot. So we need to split the name by the slashes, and then I am not a fan of this autocomplete in Notepad. just remove that. Let's see, maybe we can do a little bit easier here. We just basically need we need exact group name, and we want to set that to group name. I'm going to say exact group name equals node name, and actual node name is what we have. So actual node name is already available, so we need to just check if actual node name is an index here. Alright, that should fix our export script. So we can get back to working on this. So when we open this guy up, he should not crash. But we should at least be able to... Can we remove these things from the array? No, we can't? Like, what is this? Come on, let me remove things from the array. I can't remove things from the array. Can we? Alright. We have to manually click delete on everything. Wow, that is annoying. Alright, so we at least have that. Let's double check on the other crouches. That looks okay. This one looks alright as well. Alright. So lots of little things that we have to deal with when we're doing engineering work. It can be a real pain. But that's why we're doing it. Alright, and then we're going to have to go actually check out all of these assets. Alright, good. And we'll exit and then reload Unreal so it actually gets all that source control stuff set up. Yeah, Unreal doesn't... I mean, it integrates with Perforce decently, but it's real slow about it at times. So if you're trying to edit like a whole bunch of assets all at once, you'll be waiting for 5 minutes for the progress bar. When if you disconnect source control and do a couple things, you only have to wait like 30 seconds. Alright. So you got the dash idle. So we're going to want this crouched, I'm pretty sure. So let's see what we can do with it. So this is running crouch and running crouch B. Running crouch E. These are like intro anims. Let's see, do we have any other crouches? I mean, it seems almost like these things, the naming convention is not helpful. What we really want is, instead of like S crouch, we want like crouch S. That way all the crouches are in the same spot and all that stuff. Because when you're looking at this alphabetically, like everything is just sucks. You can't read it. And these like B and E prefixes that he's got for like transitions are not helpful. Alright, let's see. Maybe just flipbook? And then we need just the normal crouched. Does that even exist? Like an idle crouch? Like I know we have crouch, but we do not have